Let's look at final exam question number 37, found on page 669 of Teach Yourself, Electricity and Electronics, 5th edition. The question asks us about a particular quantity in the complex admittance plane. Remember, admittance is generally represented as Y, an uppercase italic Y. We have in this plane susceptance going up and down on the imaginary axis, and conductance going out horizontally along the real number axis. Conductance represented by an uppercase italic letter G. Susceptance represented by an uppercase italic letter B, preceded by the J operator to indicate that it's imaginary. Now remember that in the case of susceptance, negative imaginary susceptance is inductive, and positive imaginary susceptance is capacitive. So, if we have a vector that points down and to the right, that corresponds to a point that gives us some conductance and some negative imaginary susceptance. Negative imaginary susceptance is inductive. So the correct choice here is B. As in Bravo, we have conductance along with inductive susceptance to form a complex admittance. So once again, the correct answer is B. Now remember, if we were to deal with the complex impedance plane instead, then what we'd have is resistance along the horizontal axis, that would be denoted as R, an uppercase italic letter R, and the imaginaries would be reactances. Positive imaginary reactance is inductive, and negative imaginary reactance is capacitive. So that very same component, if we were to display it on a complex impedance plane, where impedance is generally denoted as an uppercase italic letter Z, would point upward and to the right. We'd have some resistance, which would be the reciprocal of the conductance, and some reactance, which would be the reciprocal of the susceptance. Reciprocals, when we go with imaginary numbers, reverse the sign. So negative becomes positive, positive becomes negative. This is inductive reactance. That would be capacitive reactance. So the vector for the same component in the complex impedance plane would point upwards and to the right. This can get a little bit confusing, I realize. In fact, this is the third iteration of this video that I have done because I got confused about it myself. Again, though, the correct answer to this question number 37, found on page 669, is B, as in Bravo.